Hello dear readers, it's Tidbit Tuesday again, today January 12th, and I have the correct date today! Yes, we are doing good. This week I decided to talk about themes in writing. Every writer has them, something that they enjoy writing about, something they enjoy dealing with or tackling. Sometimes it's a social issue, sometimes it's an artistic approach. It's just something that they enjoy to play with. I have several. One of my favorites is death. Not just the killing of characters off, although sometimes that happens out of the blue. My apologies to Belvedere's fans out there, as well as Tenalia's. But also the gods of the dead and places of death and death rituals and customs and correlations and all those things I just find fascinating from various cultures in the world. So I try to incorporate it into my writing. In the Sears War, while the death count is very, very high, you also have different interactions dealing with Avalon, or the variation Yennesaphal in the story, which is the land of the dead or the land of the blessed from Arthurian legend. Also, the main character, Morgan, is a priestess of Arianrhod, who is a goddess connected with the dead. And even the priests of Aran, who are death priests, are mentioned and factor into the background. And all those kind of situations kind of come together to affect the story and the character's development. In the tome series, again, the death count tends to be up there, but it also deals with more of the spiritual aspect. You have, especially poor Zoristes, he tends to really have a lot of interaction with either death gods or places of the dead, or, well, pretty much the dead themselves, keeping in mind that he is someone who's been touched by death, by Thanatos. He visits the Temple of Pluto, which was built over a temple to Hades, and that's just in Zakin. In Sea of Sands, he ends up actually entering Erebos, the land of the dead, from Greek tradition. In Rahasia, which is book 3 of the tome series, and the one that I'm working on right now, you get to meet a race called the Karidariki, which are basically Grim Reapers. They are children who have died when their mothers died in childbirth, which makes them a gateway to Death himself, and Death raises them as his own, and they become his agents among the living, keeping the natural order and balance in the world. Needless to say, I have quite an interest in these things, and I find it fascinating, and I hope that the way I bring it to light and to life in my books is enjoyed by you, my readers. So, in closing for this week, post your comments on death, or your comments on things that you find fascinating in your writing, or even things that you enjoy in writing, or movies, or music. Because it's all out there. If you're paying attention, you'll find, hey, I really like music that deals with this, or art that deals with that. So, feel free to share it. And I will see you next week.